You're devoted to your business. You understand that it's not something that you are fitting around your lifestyle, but you're building a lifestyle that's also fitting into and around your business, right? It's a non-negotiable. It has to happen or it has to happen. There's not a day that goes by that you are not communicating in your business, active in your business, checking your emails, logged into your systems. Every single day you are on it. Hey, you guys, and welcome to another episode of Full Transparency with Donni Wiggins, where on this platform, I invite amazing entrepreneurs to come and share what's going on in their businesses and in their lives. And also on this platform, sometimes it's just you and I, where I am talking about my own life lessons, my own business lessons, my thoughts on certain things. And I also give you guys some information about how you can become a better person as an individual and as an entrepreneur. And guess what? Today, you just get me. It's us. It's us. It's us. And you know, whenever it's just you and I, you probably want to get something to take notes with, because I'm always going to have something for you to write down. All right. Today, I want to talk about momentum. So I have a mentorship program called Actionable CEO. No shameless plug, but the link should be down here in this video. If you are not being mentored by anybody, if you're not being filled in your circle, in your environment, you definitely want to check out Actionable CEO. It's a group where we meet every single week, sometimes more, for personal, professional, and financial development. And it is led by me. And super excited to welcome you into that if you decide to do that. Right now, it's just $97 a month. So for those of you who are always like, I want to work with Donni, but I don't know if I can afford it, you can. You can be mentored directly through me. But anyway, back to the lesson. In that group, a couple of weeks ago, I talked about momentum. And this is so important because what I noticed that a lot of entrepreneurs are doing is you'll put your business model together, you will pre-launch it and release it to the public, and you will get some traction. And traction can be engagement with your posts. Traction can be additional DMs that you're receiving as a result of something that you've recently done, whether it's a podcast interview, a conference, or a post that you've made. Traction can also be actual sales that are coming into your money, into your business, and your business is generating revenue or money, right? And you'll make this progress, you'll get this traction, and then you just take your foot off the brake. It's like we work so hard to make an indentation. We work so hard to hit that first goal that you forget that you got to rinse and repeat this thing. You forget that there's still work to do. And I want to make sure you have a reality check right now in identifying if your foot is on the gas. Is your foot on the gas? My accountability group benefited from a version of this training. And anytime we're doing trainings in real time, I have some notes here, but it won't necessarily be delivered the same way. So I want you guys to make sure that you're picking this up. And then if you come over into the accountability group, you'll get the fuller, lengthier version of this training. But let's get into it. So momentum. First of all, momentum is defined as the quantity of motion of a moving body. That means how much is it moving? How much is the business moving? How much are you moving? The quantity of motion, the measure, how much motion you have in your business right now. So when we're looking at the how much, we're talking about your movement and activity. That's the what. Those are the things, those are the what that we're measuring. We're talking about the movement and activity, meaning how many sales calls do you have going on in your business? How many vendor opportunities are you committed to? How far out is your calendar booked for speaking events? How many times are you going live this week? How many times are you executing your marketing strategy? But also then it's going to be measured by speed, how fast you're doing it. So you can technically make $100,000 in a year, in 5 years, in a month. You can even make it in a day. And we've seen online where people have even sometimes made that $100,000 in an hour, in a minute. How fast you do something is relative. The speed at which you do something is relative, but it does determine how much momentum you do or you don't have in your business. And this is really important. Okay, this is really important because it does not take a whole year to make $100,000. If your goal right now is 6 figures, there's no rule book that says it takes a whole year for you to do that. I have students who have done it in a couple of months. I have students who do that monthly. I have clients who do that monthly. I have other students who have taken the whole year to do it. But the momentum that you have in your business is measured by the speed of execution and the speed at which that execution is yielding a result, right? And so I want you to write this formula down. Your momentum is determined by your movement plus your activity times your speed. Your movement plus your activity times your speed, okay? So when we're talking about movement, we're really talking about how much, what has to be done, what kind of activity you have to do in order to get momentum in your business. What kind of activity do you have to do in order to get momentum in your business? So I want you to think about your business like this. What does it require? What's required in your business in order for you to generate revenue? What is your revenue generator? So in your business, it could be that your sales calls is the method in which you use to generate revenue. Okay, so if that's the case, I want you to write that down under activity. I want you to write down the actual revenue generator under the word activity. Remember, we wrote movement plus activity times speed equals momentum. So under the word, draw an arrow and write down what that revenue generator is for you. So if right now in your business, the way that you generate revenue is through speaking engagements, write that down. If it's through preparing taxes, write that down. If it's through hosting fitness classes, write that down. If it's through sales calls, write that down, okay? Now, that's the activity that directly has to happen in order for you to generate revenue. Now, when we're going into movement and we're thinking about movement, I want you to draw an arrow down from the word movement. And I want you to identify what in your business has to be set up in order for that activity to happen. So in order for you to have sales calls on your calendar to hit the revenue goal that you need, or in order for you to have the number of clients that you need to have at any given time for you to reach the revenue goal that you have, what kind of activity, how much of that activity must you be doing? So for example, you may have a goal that says, I intend to generate $100,000 in whatever time frame you're going to hit that goal. Well, you know that sales calls and enrollments is the activity. The enrollments are the activity, actually. The enrollments are the activity that's required for you to hit this revenue goal. The movement is the number of sales calls you need to have every day, every week, every month in order for the activity of enrollments to happen. And I just made that correction, so I want you to pick that up. Under activity, the word should actually be enrollments. Okay, enrollments. My notes are a little messy here. I'm sorry. So under activity, it's enrollments. If you have to enroll a client and that's what generates revenue, if you have to sell a course and that's what generates revenue, that's the activity that directly impacts your revenue. Now, the movement is how you're getting, what allows the space for you to get that activity. So that's going to be through enrollments. That's going to be through your sales calls. That's going to be through you're going live. That's going to be you attending trade shows and conferences, vendor booths, whatever that is. Okay. So identify how much of that movement has to happen for you to get the number of enrollments. This is why tracking data is so important. See, you should know what your closing or conversion ratio is. So for example, for every 100 people that land on your website, you should know that 20 of those 100 people will actually click the link to purchase or click the link to schedule a call. And then let's say 11 of those will actually end up in a transaction that makes you money. So you understand what your ratio, what your percentage is. So we know that, let's say, for example, you need 30 calls on your calendar per week in order for you to have a number of enrollments that you need to have to reach the revenue goal. Now, the other variable here is speed. The other variable is speed. So you can say my revenue goal is this $100,000 for the year, or you can say, well, Donni, I want to scale it a little more. I want to increase the revenue, and I'd rather make $100,000 a quarter. Well, at that point, it simply becomes shifting the mathematics of the equation. That means that you now need to probably quadruple the activity that you're doing, or triple the activity that you're doing, and you have to figure these metrics out based on what your closing and conversion ratios are in order for you to hit that goal in a shorter frame of time. So if it takes you 12 whole months to do this, but you want to get it done in a quarter, $100,000 a quarter, my mind immediately says, well, let's 4X the activity that we're doing. If you want to hit the $100,000 goal in a monthly time frame, my immediate thought process is, how do we 12X the movement and activity so that we can also 12X the result that we get, the type of momentum that we have growing in our business, right? So I want you to think about momentum like this. There's 3 major benefits of momentum's significance to your business. The first one, the momentum that you have or you don't have is going to be a reflection of the positive movement that you have happening in your business. So if you want to know if you're doing things great, if you want to know if you're on the right track, how much momentum do you have in your business? Okay, how much momentum do you have in your business? The second benefit is there's evidence of growth. There's evidence of growth. Again, if you want to know if you're doing something well, if you want to know if the business is still worth your time, if you want to be able to easily identify if it's time for you to quit on an idea, keep an idea going, whatever that is, you're able to look at the momentum that you do or don't have in your business and say, yes, we're growing, or no, we're staying the same, or we're actually going backwards. And number 3, positive movements toward your goals. So are you inching away at your goals? Are you getting closer to your goals? Have you been trying to go after the same goal for much longer than you believe you should be actually going after this goal? Okay. So this is the significance of momentum in your business. This is the significance. I believe that as soon as you start getting engagement on the type of content that you're posting, that you should follow that up immediately, right? You should follow that up immediately. Then every single day you're capitalizing on this momentum. You'll notice that when people hit the blogs and there's something negative that comes out about them in the blogs, the smart marketer will capitalize on that kind of momentum almost immediately. Usher and Keke Palmer are a great example of this. So Keke Palmer recently went to an Usher concert. She was on stage. She was dancing with Usher, singing to Usher, and she was wearing this outfit that her significant other thought was risque. And he made a comment that said, you're a mom now. Like, what are you wearing? You're a mother now. And the blogs ate this up, right? The blogs are eating this up. Well, Keke then immediately decides to release a single of her own, kind of mocking the situation that happened because her significant other publicly outed her, right? You'll then see maybe within 30 days after this happening, her and Usher have a song. Like, I heard your boyfriend was looking for me. He has this, they got this song out. The video is filmed in Vegas. You'll notice that the clothes that Keke is wearing is the exact same outfit of the You Don't Have to Call video from what Usher did back in, I think, the 90s, maybe the early 2000s. But they literally capitalized on this momentum. And because people are already on the edge of their seat and they're already sold out for this storyline of what's happening in Keke's personal life and how Usher played a role in that, they instantly went in the studio and said, let's maximize this moment. Let's take advantage of this momentum and let's actually get out there, create a video. Let's have a song that hits the charts, get all of these streams and make some money. Instant momentum. They capitalize, or instant maximization of that momentum. They capitalize on that instantly. You'll also see people who have stories that hit the blogs, right? Now, suddenly they've got all of this buildup around their name, this energy, this excitement happening around their name. And you'll see people do things like release a t-shirt line, an apparel line. They'll release a product. They'll release a class. They'll release something because they understand that they have the attention of their ideal audience. They understand that all eyes are on them, and good, bad, or indifferent, there is a way to maximize and cash in on this momentum. You have to do the same thing. But instead, what most people are doing is when they get a sale, when they start generating sales, when they hit the first goal, they bask in the glory of the moment of hitting the first goal. And you start to take your foot off the gas just a little bit, and you start to slow down, and you start feeling yourself, or you start trying to change things too soon. You start changing things too soon, and now you find yourself going backwards. You got to go all in. You got to go all in. So you have to make a couple of decisions. So there's evidence all around us of what's happening, the Usher situation, things with other celebrities, things with people that are, right here in your industry. People are cashing in and maximizing on the momentum that's happening, whether it's positive momentum, negative momentum, or indifferent. They are cashing in on those things very, very quickly. So the idea of what's possible for you, there's evidence all around it. You have to decide how big you want to grow it, how big you want to take your brand, how big you want to grow your brand, how much notoriety you want out there. That's the first thing. Number two, you have to decide how profitable you want to be. How profitable do you want to be? Not everybody has a 7-figure goal. Not everybody has a 6-figure goal, right? You have to decide how profitable you want to be and in what period of time. Because $100,000 today is the same as $100,000 in 6 months, is the same as $100,000 in 12 months, numerically. But the value of that $100,000 is very different depending on how quickly you get to that number. Hey, CEO, Donni Wiggins here, and I am so excited to announce my new mentorship group is dropping. You may have already heard about it, but I wanted you to hear it from the horse's mouth directly from me. My new mentorship group, Actionable CEO, for entrepreneurs who are interested in professional growth, personal growth, and financial growth. You want to learn from me. Y'all have been asking for this for the last 3 years, and I have finally brought Actionable CEO back to serve you every single week. Direct mentorship from me. You will also hear from other people who are in my community that I believe will be greatly impactful to you. You're going to get behind the scenes. We're going to be spending some time together live. This is not pre-recorded. This is live mentorship. So if you are an entrepreneur and you want to be connected, feel connected, you want to elevate your brand, you want to elevate your life, you want to elevate your level of success, Actionable CEO is for you. ActionableCEO.com. See you there. So if I earn $100,000 today, if I go and launch a product and let's say I drop a t-shirt line or I do a webinar, I do some kind of challenge and I make $100,000 today, that's a much higher valued $100,000 than if it took me 12 months to do it. Make sense? There's 3 levels of momentum that I want you to consider. The first level is you having your foot on the brake. That means that your business is at a complete stop. There's nothing happening. You're not getting any engagement with your content. You are not getting any responses or great feedback from your business. You're not even sending, or from your emails, you're not even sending emails. You're probably not posting content, right? You're not doing anything, but you're telling yourself that you're an entrepreneur. You're saying that you're an entrepreneur. You're saying that you have your business, but you're a secret agent. You're a secret agent for your own company, meaning people don't even really know what you do. They don't know that you're in business. You're not having enough successful conversations about your business. That is when your foot is completely on the brake. You're at a complete standstill. And I know that there's somebody who's listening to this that says, you know what, while I'm working my 9 to 5, I did get comfortable. I did fall off. Maybe you had momentum somewhere in the past. Maybe you've never had momentum at all, but you continue to call yourself an entrepreneur when nothing is moving the needle in your business. Nothing is happening to move the needle. Okay. That's the first level. The second level of momentum is that you're just kind of cruising. You're taking it easy. You're posting every now and then. You're talking about your business every now and then. And that every now and then activity is getting you an every now and then result, meaning you're making some money. Some of your offers are selling while the others are not selling. Some of your goals are being met while others are not being met because you got one foot in, you got one foot out. Maybe you're a parent and you're trying to figure out parenting and juggling all that around building your business. Maybe you're working a 9 to 5 right now and you're exhausted, you're tired, and you're trying to get your schedule together so you can figure out how to be more consistent at your business. But I'm going to tell you that if you're on cruise control, it's a dangerous place to be in because you're literally one step to to the left away from being at a complete stop, or you could be one step to the right at being at the third level of momentum, which is your foot is on the gas. You are showing up regularly. You are showing up every day. You are showing up multiple times a day. Your business has so much attention. It's like that annoying commercial or that song that comes on the radio. Every single time you get in the car, they're playing that same record over and over and over again. Every single time you log on to social media, you see a new post covering the same person about this same topic, their same relationship issue, their same business success, their same business letdown, over and over and over and over again. Do you have your foot on the gas? Do you have your foot on the gas? Okay? And let's get really, really, really clear. I want you to leave this episode having the full ability to identify if your foot is on the brake, if you're in cruise control, or if your foot is on the gas. Ask yourself these questions. I want you to categorize yourself. Your foot is on the brake, again, if you're secretly in business. You have no marketing happening. You have no sales happening. There's no conversations happening about your business, right? There's nothing happen. You haven't even logged into your email. You haven't logged into your systems. You haven't logged into your business social media accounts. You haven't logged into your merchant account because there's no money happening. You've lost the ability. You've lost belief in your own ability. You've lost the belief that you're actually able to do what you said you were going to do when you started this business. And you got to find your belief again. You're cruising if your foot isn't on the gas and it's not on the brake. You're working your business again occasionally. You're inconsistent, right? You're very inconsistent. You're also inconsistent with your personal development. When your foot is on the brake, there really isn't any personal development, because if you're doing personal development the right way, your foot can't possibly be on the brake. Okay? Personal development, what you're feeding yourself, what you're allowing yourself to absorb, what you're reading, the conversations that you're having with others, the conversations that you're having with yourself, what you're allowing your eyes to absorb, the conferences that you're attending, the coaching that you have, the mentorship that you've become a part of. Those are personal development techniques that you can leverage so that you can gain momentum and become better in your business and in your life overall. Now you're all gas. Foot is on the gas if you're consistent. You're consistent, number one, with your personal development. You've got a great personal development routine. So ask yourself right now, am I plugged into personal development? Am I doing things that stretch me? Am I doing things that help me grow? Am I doing things that's making me a better leader, a better person, a better human, a better CEO, a better entrepreneur, right? You've got consistent revenue flowing in your business. Not only is the revenue consistent, but it's growing at a consistent rate. Okay, you're not staying at a plateau. You're exceeding your goals. You're reaching those goals and you're exceeding your goals. You're devoted. You're devoted to your business. You understand that it's not something that you are fitting around your lifestyle, but you're building a lifestyle that's also fitting into and around your business, right? It's a non-negotiable. It has to happen or it has to happen. There's not a day that goes by that you are not communicating in your business, active in your business, checking your emails, logged into your systems. Every single day you are on it. You've got an established routine. You wake up the way that you wake up every single day. Things have to happen in your life. Things have to happen around you a particular way because it's highly critical to the success of your business. It's highly critical to the momentum that you have in your company. You take immediate action. You take immediate action. You are responding to your customers. You are fulfilling the orders. You're immediately establishing your marketing routine. You're always promoting your business. You're either always directly promoting your business or you have some type of systems in place that help you to promote your business. But either way, there's not a day that goes by that people are not hearing the messaging about your business, right? And most importantly, when your foot is on the gas, you've got a high level of belief. You have a high level of belief. You are going for it. Nobody can tell you not to go for it. Nothing can convince you not to go for it. You are going for it, and you are going for it at a very high level. You are operating in excellence. Your foot is on the gas. You are seeking new information. Your foot is on the gas. You are growing within your company. Your foot is on the gas. It's time for you to hire a team. Your foot is on the gas. You need to delegate new information. Your foot is on the gas. You cannot possibly execute all of these ideas by yourself. It's time to move out of that stage of being a solopreneur and actually get some help. Your foot is on the gas. You are hitting your revenue goals. Your foot is on the gas. You are getting testimonial after testimonial about how you have impacted your client or your customer. Your foot is on the gas. You're being recognized as an authority or an expert in your space. Your foot is on the gas. Your foot is on the gas. Your foot is on the gas. Well, Donni, how do I get to the place where my foot is on the gas? Well, the first thing is that we got to work on our mindset. We got to work on our belief. That's why staying plugged into personal development is so important. Whether you join a mentorship program or not, that's why the books are so important. That's why getting into the conferences are so important. That's why watching the documentaries are so important. That's why creating an accountability group with qualified individuals in your circle is so important. It's so important that you are number one, committed to a strong personal development routine. A strong personal development routine. What are you reading? What are you talking to? How do you wake up in the morning? Are you meditating? Are you journaling? Are you documenting your process? Are you documenting your process? We know that I have a morning routine every single day. I own the first 2 hours of my day. It's on purpose. Every single day is intentional. I want to make sure that when I leave this house, when I leave my home, when I start my day, when I intercept my clients, when I get with my team, I want to make sure that the normal happenings throughout the day aren't affecting my ability to enjoy at least a small percentage of my day. So during that time, I'm typically not on my phone. I'm typically not checking social media. I'm typically not plugged into anybody else. During the first 2 hours of my day, it's about Donni pouring into Donni. I wake up, I immediately meditate. I sit up, I go straight into journaling. I don't journal about things that are going wrong. I'm very intentional about journaling about things as I desire to have them. Journaling about things as I desire to have them. I am very intentional that if there is something that is not going the way that I desire them to happen, I am not journaling about the woe is me's. I'm not journaling about everything that's going wrong. I'm creating opportunities on paper. I'm writing opportunities down on paper. If I'm not making the money that I want to make, I am talking about what kind of opportunities can I create? These are the opportunities that I'd like to create. These are the areas of opportunity that I found to correct. These are the areas of opportunity that I found to be better. I'm very intentional about how I'm speaking to myself. This is my personal development routine, because if I instead journaled about, I'm not making enough money, things aren't working, it's not looking positive, every time I try, I fail. If those are the things that I'm writing on paper, I am committing to that. I am bringing upon more of that. I am attracting more of that, and I can't not focus. I am focused on what's going wrong instead of saying, you know what? I noticed that I can actually implement a different system that allows me to have better follow-up. I can actually implement a better system that allows me to generate more leads. These are the goals. These are the things that I want to work on. These are the opportunities that as a result of what's happening, that I am committed to. And when I trick my brain into focusing on the opportunities that will lead to solutions, then I can't really be focused on the problem, because we're focused on the solution. And then that way, even if there is a problem really happening in my life, or there is a problem really happening in my business, I am more focused on how to fix that than I am focused on dwelling about what's going wrong. It's just a simple mindset tweak. And that mindset tweak is really, really simple, but it's so strong and it's so important to my output, to my energy, to my results, right? So the first thing, we got to be really committed to a personal development routine, okay? Now, the second thing is, for most of you, at least most of you that are engaged with me here, you are building businesses in which your marketing strategy, whether you're doing paid marketing or organic marketing, your marketing strategy is heavily revolved around social media and producing content. Whether you're directly producing the content with your face in it, whether it's words, whether you've got a company that's doing it for you, your foot is on the gas when we are producing and exposing our ideal market to our content on a consistent cycle. So number one, how consistently are you focused on the quality of your content? Okay. Your foot is on the gas when you are producing not just any old content, but your quality is top tier all the time. Quality is top tier, meaning somebody is always commenting on how much they got from your content. It's shareable. You'll know the quality of your content by the number of saves and shares. Doesn't really matter how many likes you get. Doesn't really matter how many comments you get. It is the best compliment to someone who's putting out quality content by people who are saving your content. That means that people want to come back to it later, and people who are sharing it. That means that they found so much value in that content that they believe that other people should be exposed to that value as well. Okay, let's talk again. We're talking content. We're talking about the consistency of your content. Are you putting out content fast enough to keep your audience's attention? Are you putting out content fast enough to keep your audience's attention? For most of us, once a week is just not going to do it, especially if we are a growing and developing brand, okay? Once a week may not do it. For some of you, 3 times a day may not do it. For some of you, it might be 1 time a day. Well, Donni, how do I know if it's 1 time a day, 1 time every other day, or 3 times a day, 5 times a day? You got to test. You have to test it. You have to go out there and put the content out every single day, 1 time a day. Is it still keeping people engaged? Are people still responding to it? Are my shares and saves and likes still at the same level, or are they growing? Well, let me try 2 posts a day. Am I still keeping my audience's attention? Am I keeping their attention? Am I getting some feedback from them? Is it generating sales? Is my profile growing? Are more people being exposed to me? Check your data and your analytics. 3 times a day. Is that what my audience needs, or is it overkill? Am I giving them too much information in a day, right? Am I giving them too much information in a day? I typically have my clients start out with a posting strategy of 3 times a day. And you're mixing those things up. Every single post isn't a post that asks for a sale. Every single post isn't a post that educates. Sometimes a post entertains, but every single post has some type of call to action. Every single post, the messaging has to cater to our ideal market, because again, our point of being on social media as entrepreneurs is to build our business, is to connect with our audience so that we can build our business. The more people you help get what they want, the more you're going to get, and the faster you're going to get to what you want. Are we clear? Are we clear? I believe we're clear. Let's talk about one more thing about content. And I actually kind of said it, not only consistency. So consistency means, am I doing it on a consistent schedule? Like, can my audience count on me to put out content, whether it's weekly, whether it's 3 times a day, whether it is twice a day, whether it's once a day, right? Can my audience count on that? But the frequency of the content, determining how often you are going to put that content out and how often you're going to put out the same type of content. You don't want your audience to get accustomed to you doing something in a way that you stop doing it later. They can't count on you. They can't depend on you to be consistent. Right? They can't depend on you to be consistent. They can't depend on you to do it. You got a podcast and you said that you were going to do it once a week, but you skipped 2 weeks. You're not consistent. You're going to lose your audience. You're going to lose your appeal. You're going to lose the momentum that you started building. You said that you were going to put out a podcast once a week, and then you were going to put out 2 or 3 short clips, YouTube shorts on YouTube 2 or 3 times a week, but you started it and you stopped, and then you started it and you stopped, and you're wondering why you're feeling like you're having to start over and over and over and over again, because you're not keeping your foot on the gas. Hey, are you a service-based entrepreneur that helps your clients or customers get some type of result, but you're struggling to post and communicate your message on social media? You don't know how to type a caption that connects and gets people's attention and converts them from just someone who's following you on social to becoming your customer or your client? Great news is, that's my superpower. So I'm sending you 3 text messages every single day, excluding major holidays, directly to your phone, of exactly what you need to post to get people to buy and convert them into clients and customers. All you have to do is join my program, Post to Paid, and you can do so by texting the words Post to Paid to 404-737-2767. And the best news is just $37 a month. So hurry up, send me the text. I'm looking for it now. Your foot is on the gas if you're determined to hit your goals. You're determined to hit your goals. You're talking about your goals. You're directly communicating about your goals. You're indirectly communicating about your goals. Your activity is based upon your goals. You are focused on your goals. So much so that you dress based on the goals that you have. You have conversations based on the goals that you have. You curate those conversations based on the goals that you have. You set your calendar and your availability based on the goals that you have. What you're going to do this entire upcoming week should be based on the goals that you have. You're very, very intentional. You're very, very, very intentional about hitting your goals. Now, a couple of things that you want to make sure that you have in place, okay? I gave this to my accountability group, and I'm going to give this to you. The difference between having the ability to hear this information on my podcast and the ability to hear it inside of my accountability group is that it's a two-way conversation. I bring people up, I let them talk, I let them explain to me what they're experiencing, and I give them feedback in real time. Whereas right here on the podcast, you can take notes on the information, and this information will be very, very useful, but it's a one-way conversation. It's not a two-way conversation, okay? Let's talk about your 7-day strategy. 7-day strategy. I want you to build momentum in your business. Donni, what does that look like? 7-day strategy. 7-day strategy. So your goal over the next 7 days is to increase the momentum in your business. Increase the momentum in your business. And we're going to do that with the following steps. Looking at my notes here. Okay. Over the next 7 days. Now, I got to be careful with saying things like over the next 7 days because some of you will take it and run with it for 7 days and think that that's where the buck stops. And that's just where it's getting started. The reason that I'm saying over the next 7 days is because you're going to be paying careful attention to how you execute these steps. And you may have to switch things up a little bit. You may have to tweak things just a little bit. You may have to do a little bit more than what I'm saying. You may have to do it just a little bit differently than how I'm saying it. And then you're going to use this 7-day strategy and execute it over 30 days and then 60 days and then 90 days. And before you know it, you executed that strategy all year long. And you've not only reached your goals, you've exceeded them. Okay. So we want to increase, number one, we're going to be increasing four things. The first thing that you're going to increase are the number of daily conversations you're having about not your business, but the problems that you solve. Okay. So one of the mistakes that you're making is that you're having conversations about your business, the fact that you do webinars, the fact that you are a CPA, the fact that you are a coach. Nobody really cares to engage in that conversation with you. I want you to be very focused on the problems that you're having and having conversations about, not the problems that you're having, but the problems that you solve. I want you to be very intentional about having conversations about the problems that you solve. So if you are somebody who helps entrepreneurs or moms reduce overwhelm, if you are somebody who helps people gain confidence by being pleased with how they look in their body, people who are lacking confidence, people who are overwhelmed, people who don't have the time, right? What is the problem that you solve? Take a moment right here. Pause the video if you have to. Pause this audio if you have to. I want you to pause it right here because I need you to do this for me in real time. I want you to take your pen and paper. And I want you to say, I understand that I do webinars. I understand that I do strategy calls. I understand that I do Zoom conferences. I understand that I see clients in person. But when I'm doing that type of activity, what's the problem that I'm actually solving? Like, not the fact that I'm doing something for you, not the fact that I'm creating your systems or putting your systems together for you, but what's the problem that entrepreneur must have in order for you to be putting the systems in place? So for example, an entrepreneur who hires a third-party company to put their systems in place, the problems that they're experiencing are probably overwhelmed. They're overwhelmed. Things are just really disorganized. It's out of order. So they're dealing with an organization issue. They are dealing with not being able to quickly see their business's metrics. They don't really know what's working or what's not working because they can't see it very quickly. Their team doesn't know what to do. They're like really stressed out because they want their team to be delegating and they want them to work efficiently, but the systems don't allow for that to happen, right? So they're feeling really frustrated. They're unable to delegate in the appropriate way, and they can't easily identify their growth strategy. Why? Because they can't see reporting. They can't see inside their business outside of the to-do list that they have right now. Those are the problems. And I want you to have conversations about the problem. You know what, CEO? Right now, you're probably feeling incredibly overwhelmed. You're feeling incredibly overwhelmed because it's taking so much time away from your life. Your business is taking so much time away from your personal life because you're doing everything manually. And even in doing everything manually, you have notes here, you have notes jotted down there. You've got a journal for your business. You've got your cell phone notes for your business. You got stuff that you've communicated. You got these voice notes. You have everything in your business but a system. That's the kind of conversations that you need to be having, focused on the problems that they're having, but notice how I took it over into a solution. You have everything in your business except a system. Well, this is where I come in at. I help CEOs just like you who are dealing with the overwhelm, who need to clear up the clutter, who need clarity in their business, who need to have more time back for themselves by implementing systems that will allow you to X, Y, and Z. You have enough of those conversations, you're going to start attracting the ideal client. You're going to start attracting the person who's ready to invest. You are going to start allowing people to see very clearly that they have a problem that has the ability to be solved. Sometimes your customers aren't purchasing because they simply don't know that their problem can be solved. You have to have those kind of conversations, okay? That's number one, your 7-day strategy. So I want you to increase the number of conversations that you're having daily. If you're having none right now, then you need to have one. If you're having one, you need to have 3. If you're having 3, have 5. Increase the number of conversations that are happening in your business. But here's the thing. It's not just conversations that you're having about your business, but how do you increase the second thing, which is awareness about the problems that you solve and the solutions that you offer. Awareness about the problems that you solve and the solutions that you offer. Because when you create awareness, I want you to focus on increasing awareness. That means it's directly proportionate to the value that you provide. The value is in the solution that you have to the problem that your ideal client or customer is having. That's how you communicate your value. Your value proposition is as strong as the solution that you offer. The smaller the solution, the lesser your value. The bigger the solution, the greater your value. Okay? So that's awareness. How many people are becoming aware of the problem? How many people are becoming aware of the solution? That's going to lead us to number 3 of the 4 steps. Number 3, engagement. Once you're having conversations about your business, enough successful conversations about the problem and the solution, not about the Zoom call. Nobody cares about that. Not about I'm fly, not about it's unique. Problems and solutions. And you're bringing this awareness, you're increasing the awareness daily. Guess what? Number 3 is going to increase the engagement. Now, other people are engaging. They're spreading the word about you. They're having conversations amongst themselves, their family, their friends, and they're having conversations about you on your behalf, leading to more conversations, awareness, and engagement. You see how these things work? They work together to help you increase number 4, your revenue. Your revenue. The more conversations that you're having focused on problems and solutions brings more awareness. People are starting to become aware. They're starting to see your value, which leads to them desiring to increase the engagement that they're offering you to your brand, the engagement that they're having behind your back. You want to know you want to know if your business is growing? How many conversations are you having? Are people having about you positively about your business behind your back? How do you know? Well, Donni, how do I know? You start asking people questions. How'd you hear about me? How'd you learn about my brand? What motivated you to schedule this call with me? What motivated you to do business with me? And they're going to say things like, oh, my friend such and such shared this post on their social media. I've started to follow you. My friend such and such told me about your business, right? And then that helps you to increase your revenue. But you can't skip any of the steps. You can't not increase the number of conversations. You can't not increase the daily awareness. You cannot not increase the daily engagement and expect that the revenue is going to increase as well. It has to happen, or it has to happen. Okay? Recap real quick. Daily conversations. The problem that you solve. How do I do that? Through posts, through blog topics, through going live on Instagram and YouTube. My personal preferences are to go live, and through posts, right? I don't really engage with a whole lot of blogs for conversational purposes. I utilize blogs for research, okay? Through awareness. You're educating about the problem that you solve. You are educating about the problem that you solve. Why does your client have the problem? How do you solve the problem? Engagement. You're drawing the engagement to you. There's a call to action with engagement. When you are soliciting for engagement, you are telling people to click this link, click the link in my bio to see this on YouTube, like this post, share this post, comment on this post. And let me tell you guys, actually stop saying like this post, because that's not doing anything for you. Okay. Share this post, save this post, comment on this post. Those are call to actions. Click the link in my bio to, subscribe to, share this with 3 people, send this information to, tag the person who needs to hear this information. Maybe it doesn't relate to you. Maybe it's not relevant to you, but you know somebody who needs to lose weight. You know an entrepreneur who needs to get their finances in order. You know a person who has a business that might need a business coach. Please tag them here. Please allow them to see this value too, right? Also, showing proof, testimonials, pre-recorded videos, showcasing your work, text testimonials. You can go live with a client. These are all ways to get awareness out about your brand. Aware not only that you can solve the problem, but also aware that you have validation behind you to make you a trustworthy brand, all increasing your revenue. All increasing your revenue. I want to challenge you with this same thing that I did in my accountability group, except the difference is I can't help you track yours and stay on top of yours. So I need you to take this seriously. I need you to commit and say, either I am going to come over into Actionable CEOs, the mentorship group with Donni, or I am going to take this information and I'm actually going to get serious and I'm actually going to apply it and I'm actually going to execute and I'm actually going to stay dedicated and committed to it. I need you to do all these things that I said over the next 7 days. The end result, I want you to have your revenue increase by 10%. 10%. So right now, if you're making $1,000, then at the end of this 7-day cycle from whenever you watch this, I want you to add another $100 to that and you would have made $1,100. If in your business you do about $10,000 a month or a week now, because we're doing this over 7 days, if you typically do about $10,000 a week, I want you to do $11,000. If you do $100,000, I want you to increase that and do $110,000. Okay. I want you to increase your revenue by 10%. Why? Well, I want you to have a metric. I want you to have a target. I want you to see that this stuff works. I want you to see that if you're just consistent. I want you to see that if you keep your foot on the gas. I want you to see that if you maximize and take advantage of the momentum that you're building. I want you to see that if you identify a place in which you can build up traction and gain some momentum, and if you take advantage of the momentum and you do all those things that I suggested that you do, I want you to notice that the pieces are falling in place, but I want you to be able to measure it. I want you to be able to measure it, and I want you to be able to measure it in a way that incentivizes you to do it over and over and over again. I want you to keep your foot on the gas. People are really motivated by money. People are motivated by money. They're motivated by impact. Some people are motivated equally by both. I want you to keep your foot on the gas over 7 days, the next 7 days. Now, what I want you to do immediately in the comments is tell me that between having to have, what are we talking about? The action steps. Between these 4 action steps, increasing, well, we'll take revenue out of it. Between the 3 action steps that helps you get the 4th, which is revenue, do you need to work harder on having more conversations, increasing awareness, increasing engagement? What does that look like for you? What does that look like for you? What does that look like for you? Also, I want you to drop that in the comments. But also, in addition to that, I want you to be honest. I want you to be honest about where you are right now. Is your foot on the brake? Comment that for me. And it's okay. My foot has been on the brake sometimes too. I've cruised before too. My foot has been on the gas before too. But in order to change that, in order to improve that, in order to grow, you have to first be honest with yourself about where you are. Let me know. Is your foot on the brake? meaning nothing's really happening. You're tricking yourself right now. You say you want it, but you're not doing anything to get it. Are you on cruise control? You got sometimes stuff activity and sometimes stuff rewards and sometimes stuff revenue happening in your business. Or is your foot on the gas? You like, Donni, I checked all the boxes. I'm consistent. I'm committed. I have my routine. We're making money every single day. We are hitting and or exceeding our goals regularly. Let me know in the comment sections. Say, Donni, my foot is on the brake. I'm on cruise control, or my foot is on the gas. All right. And I'm going to see you guys next week. You can join Actionable CEO by going to www.actionableceo.com. Take a look around. All right. Look at all the information that I provide and what we do inside that group and make a decision on if it is working for you. But if you're just out here being the lonely sailor on your own ship and you're not getting the result that you want, then what you're doing obviously isn't working. Come try us out for a minute, and I will see you guys next week. Talk soon. Bye.